It don't even look like it's pointed at me. Is it? Okay. Are you sure the sound's good? Have you even listened to any of them? Okay, so I'm going to be making some cages for these tomato plants over here. Really, this is pretty easy to do. There's really no right way, no wrong way, just as long as you provide support to the plant. So we've got what I call chicken wire. Come in a roll. It was 50 feet. I've already made several of these, so I know that these blue buckets like this, I just count 10 rows and then I'll cut it and just wire them together, and then I'll drill holes in the side of the bucket and just zip tie it in place so that it doesn't blow over. But so I'm going to be making 2 of these. So got the wire. I have my drill for drilling holes into the bucket. I have my shears for cutting the wire, and of course then I've got my zip ties. You can use twist ties, you can use bread ties. We've actually got one in a pot that instead of zip tying it to the pot, we used wooden dowels. Just kind of weaved them through, and so the dowels are what's holding the cage in place. So like I said, there's really no right or wrong way to do this. It's just, about supporting the plant, allowing the plant to produce fruit and not end up breaking itself from the weight of it. So, oh yeah, the other part, the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm no good at gardening. I don't have a green thumb, and I already told my wife that I'm not going to touch the plants. I'm not planting things. I'm not doing the other stuff, but this is how I try to help her out. This is how I support her. So anyway, basically just kind of unroll it. Now it would be different, of course, depending on what you might use. It might not be on a roll, so but I just unroll it. Like I said, I'm going to count 12 of the little spans here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So right there is my 12th row, and I'm going to make my cut right there beyond it with my shears. Any metal shears will work. I'd venture to say that you could probably even use like wire dikes if you had a good pair, but I think the shears would probably be a little bit better. You do have to be kind of careful when you're doing this. Make sure that you don't cut yourself. Once you're cutting these wires, the wires are pretty sharp, so you got to make sure to not poke yourself either. So of course
you should poke yourself so they'll know what it's like to be poked.
No, I don't think you need to see my blood drawn. As you can see, the wire cuts pretty easy. Of course, it depends on the gauge wire that you might be trying to make your cage out of, how easy or how hard that it might be to cut. And from here, I just take the 2 pieces, the openings, and I just kind of twist them together. So twist one side around one way, one side around the other way, just enough to keep it from coming apart. There's no rocket science involved in it. There's really no right way, no wrong way to do it. So see, I already done scratched myself right there. If you have a pair of gloves, maybe some kind of cut-proof glove or something like that, yeah, see, it might be worth it to put them on. I went looking for my gloves just a minute ago and I couldn't find them, so I said, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do this, get it done, be done with it. So it don't take too long. Once you know what size you need to fit whatever bucket it is that you're using. rows of fencing or whatever it is you're using, and cut it, twist it together, put it in. So this is probably right here the longest, kind of most tedious part of the whole job is just twisting everything together, making sure that you don't scratch yourself all up. I think another thing that you want to keep in mind when you're doing this, again, depending on the size of the cage that you're making, and I would assume that you would be doing this for just a container garden and not your outside garden, but nothing says that it has to be that way, I guess. I suppose you could do this for your outside garden too, but you want to make sure that when you're done, when you get it all finished, that you'll be able to reach the fruit as it comes onto your plants. So you want to make it big enough where you can reach down inside of it, either from the top, or if you wanted to go through the sides, you could always cut some of these wires out and kind of open up like a window or something in there so you could reach through to get your fruit. That's all, completely up to you and what it is, how you're using it. So again, no real right or wrong way. So I guess that's kind of the neat thing about this is, no matter what you do here, you're not going to be doing it wrong. So, well, I guess I should probably say, as long as you're not drawing blood and everything else, you're not doing it wrong. So, not sure if you can hear the noise in the background, trash truck.